Hey people, it's Warthunder review by the channel SsethTzeentach. Yes, every time Seth uploads a video, it's different, isn't it? All the videos I see, Seth videos are always the most fun. Even if he's not putting his best effort, even his least effort is just the best video ever. So yeah, I don't think I've ever seen any war-related video from Seth, right? I'm pretty sure you haven't done any war-related things. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Remember people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe so I know which type of videos to react to more. I've done quite a few Seth videos already. If you haven't seen them, check out the description. There's a playlist I created for it. And yeah, let's watch it.
Seth here. If I sound a little different...
Oh, that's not good. We need to hear complete hey.
Hey people.
There you go.
Seth here. If I sound a little different, it's because you're having a psychotic episode. I sound exactly the same. It's the parasites eating at your brain which say
not the
otherwise.
Gaslighting? Gaslighting isn't real. You're just crazy. Now, take your medication. Question: what did you want to be when you grew up?
What is gaslighting? I've heard of that, but
I wanted
annoying.
to be trapped in a steel, sweaty container with 3 other men. Then, oh boy, I got just the game for you. World of Warthunder. Warthunder is an experience that I have subjected myself to for the better part of a decade. And, much like an abusive stepfather, let's just say, a little bit of Warthunder will always be with me, whether I like it or not. And now, like court-ordered alimony after years of parental neglect, they're giving me money. In exchange, I use foundation to cover the bruises and cigarette burns on my skin. And I tell everyone I know that, yeah, the dents on my head, yeah, I was born with those. Warthunder is an online military vehicle combat game, which is completely free on PC, Xbox Series.
Wait, what is... They promote this video and he actually made a review out of it. How lucky are they, right? Oh, World of Tanks, this and that. Everybody just say, oh, this video is sponsored by World of Tanks, and they just move on with their fucking content. Seth made an actual review of the video. They're like, oh, I'm gonna sponsor your video. Seth like, fuck it, I'll make a review of your video to begin with. I mean, there could be pros and cons, right? But you don't know where Seth's gonna go with his review.
X and PlayStation 5. No purchase necessary, just download and play. And it's fully cross-platform, which means if you're playing the correct platform, you get to dunk on console babies all day. Register today using my link and you get a bunch of free stuff. This is important because you're going to spend it on a premium Japanese plane so you can dominate rank 1. I'm speaking from personal experience because that's exactly what I did. Okay, I'll tell you the real reason I'm doing this. They had to give me a press account, which means I get every vehicle for free temporarily, which is why I have to keep lying to their face regarding the status of this video. I don't care about the cash. This shit's worth more than anything they could ever pay me.
What the fuck was that? Wait a minute.
To this video,
It's an Indian currency. I love Seth,
don't care about the cash. This shit's worth more than anything they could ever pay me. What you have to understand about this sponsorship is that this is a hostage situation, because if you do not accept what I submit, I'm going to submit it anyway. And I'll make it worse. That was a joke. Look, I'll do anything.
Of course it was.
I'll say anything. Just please, let me keep the press account. Corporate blackmail aside, I actually really like this game. To understand exactly how long I've played this garbage, I was here when it was just air combat, and even that was pretty sick. Later on, they expanded to tanks. More recently, they do naval combat as well. Basically, you get the choice between 2 ships. One is a several thousand-ton Japanese destroyer. The other is a yacht. Sometimes, someone will pick the yacht. I shoot them, and they die. To this day, I have no idea why this is an option. Naturally, having so many different game modes calls for a seamless and intuitive control scheme, and if you're looking for that, you can fuck right off and play a different game. Firing an all-aspect infrared missile is 3 different keybinds. Fair enough. The key to dodge the aforementioned missile with countermeasures, unbound by default. Also, fair enough, but having a dedicated button on my keyboard by default to eject my spent missile casings so my plane can truly reach its full speed of 1 kilometer faster than before, that's where I draw the line. This isn't critique.
So this is one of those games like you could play it very simplistically, or you can play it with bit advanced, but you have to go to key bindings and bind your own keys, I guess. What is that? I think Euro Truck Simulator is what I'm thinking of right now, which had a engine brake, this brake, that brake. There are like 4 different brakes, but those are not bounded, right? You have to actually put keys in them. There are many games that does that shit. But fire countermeasures, that kind of feels like a very important thing. I don't know why there is no key for that.
It is praise, it subverts expectation, and keeps you on your toes. I'm still waiting for the patch that rebinds mouse click to authorize direct debit transfer to Gaijin Entertainment. I think when that finally happens, gaming will truly peak as a medium. The general idea is pretty simple. Every vehicle in this game is an accurate, one-to-one historical reconstruction of a real thing, unless it comes from the Soviets, in which case you read whatever number they give you, divide that by 10, and arrive somewhere close to the truth. And people take this shit very seriously. Some time ago we had a fiasco with Gaijin releasing a modern tank, and some guy on the forum said, actually, that's not accurate. Everybody said, prove it, and he did, by leaking confidential military documents. Somewhere out there, someone is getting court-martialed because of Warthunder, and all this just so you can have an accurate damage model. I love this community. There's no health bars. This game operates on simulation. There is no...
You compromise the security of your troops, you compromise security, national security basically. Yeah, but the game accuracy, man, this is, what is this, 21? 2001 or something? This is 2022, we need game accuracy. Even if that means a bit of treason.
such thing as the vehicle. The vehicle is a sum of its parts and the crew. You blow out the engine, it can't move. You pop the fuel, it starts burning. You snap off the elevator, and it won't stay in the air for long.
Look like
you
Just
shoot
Cause,
the ammunition
man.
rack,
Is this same
it
engine?
explodes, cooking everyone inside. You hit the armor at an angle, it ricochets right off. You get the idea. Either you blow it up or you kill the crew, whichever comes first. If you die in a tank, you get a dramatic kill cam reconstruction of whatever killed you. This might seem like eye candy or an opportunity to learn, but in reality, it's an excuse to complain in all chat that the shot was bullshit and that Gaijin is a trash developer with a clear Russian bias. Repeat this often, and I assure you, the community will quickly accept you as one of their own. To play, you have to pick between Alliance or Horde. Choose your subclass, in this case, Italian, and queue up for a game. Italians are effective against the Swedish, but get defeated by the Chinese, who win in every exchange, only losing to their natural predator. Escalators. That was a complete lie. Let's continue. Much like on Earth, there's a bunch of races, and you get to follow their historical military vehicle development across time. You start with the earliest tin cans and biplanes from World War II, and work your way up to modern times by researching and unlocking new vehicles from their respective tech tree. In combat, you get matched with similar vehicles according to their battle rating. Pro tip, if you queue into a game with an 11.0 jet fighter and a bunch of 1.0 pea shooters, you will be matched with other supersonic jet fighters.
So basically play Hearts of Iron, Hearts of Iron 4 in your side computer on a laptop or something, and at the same time also play this, kind of make it more simulation, like why the fuck not?
And if you actually dare to spawn in as one of your shitty little Wright brother origami paper planes, you will have a very short but very memorable experience. Luckily, air combat doesn't require a flight stick. I can pilot just fine with a mouse, and I've never used anything else. There's 3 different modes: arcade, realistic.
I think anybody who uses like a stick or something else when playing on PC is a traitor.
And simulation. What's the difference? Arcade is realistic, but you can lead your shots with a crosshair. It's exactly the same with tank combat, except your crosshair changes color depending on your predicted penetration. Now, to paint a picture of what realistic is like, once I flew for 5 minutes straight, fired my cannon at the enemy, and it jammed. Now the only way to unjam it is to manually land your plane on a friendly airstrip. So I flew back to the airfield. The match was over before I even deployed my landing gear. And simulation is just me.
Whoa, really? So realistic is literally realistic, like how people felt in World War I or shit, right? I mean, gun jam, what you gonna do? Go back to base. Oh, this is so fucking good. I mean, look, first of all, the arcade, most people will play that, right? So obviously this is not going to be annoying for most people. But with the green icon thing, look, whenever a game has that kind of feature, it tells you like which is the best critical area to shoot. And it will feel unrealistic. But at that point, you just have to assume that the person you're playing is just a veteran or something. So the green icon just means the person knows where to hit, right? I mean, you're not a veteran. You're playing in your PC in your home, right? So you're not a combat veteran or whatever. So I guess it balanced things out that way. So whenever something, you know, the only difference between arcade and realistic is that it just tells you where the critical hit is. It's not really bad, man. But the gun jamming thing, that's fucking awesome.
Crashing the same plane repeatedly. Sometimes I actually managed to take off before crashing back down again. You probably guessed it by now, but realistic and simulation is for certain kinds of people. People who believe that flying is real, which, by the way, there's no such thing. You're telling me that if you drive this car fast enough, it's gonna go up in the air and soar like a bird. Okay, sure thing, buddy. They literally
Laws of
put
physics,
a scrolling wallpaper and rock the cabin and have you pretend you just moved across the world. Here's an idea. Next time you're in the middle of your flight, try to stand up and leave. Tell the flight attendant that you're pretty happy where you are and you would just like to get off. So if you don't mind, please stop the plane and let me get out. You'll notice them start to visibly shake, sweat, and foam at the mouth at the suggestion, giving you all manner of excuses as to why that's not possible.
all pretend.
So no, it doesn't really matter if you play arcade or realistic, as the very concept of flying
Man, I love Seth. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I can see some people doing that shit. People like, oh, you can't go to space because of this and that reason. Earth is flat, you can't go to space and all that shit. I can see people saying like, oh, all those planes are just projections. Those are not the real thing. You can't touch it. It's in the air. So how do you know that's real? How do you know things take off? It's just a projection. It's all lies. But I can already see that people saying that. Well, I love Seth. Seriously, this is awesome.
Itself is unrealistic. But if you're looking for a completely authentic experience, it's out there. It's slower, meticulous, and a lot more calculated, but there's nothing quite like it. When you finally get in the air and you're like, oh yeah, so how do I see things? You click every key, none of them work, and then you realize, oh, I have to manually move my neck, just like the real thing. If you're watching this and currently slouching, I hope you feel self-conscious right now and correct your posture before it's too late. Before they find your fossilized cadaver and conclude this was no human, this was a troglodyte. On the other hand, if you actually want to have, fun, play arcade. I do. So does 90% of the people who play this game. Warthunder is much like chess. Everybody says they play it. Everybody knows how to play it. But nobody actually does it in public, because if you do, people will find out that actually you have no idea what you're doing. Sometimes I do great. Sometimes I don't. But I clip those parts out because it's my video. So what do you do in this game? What do I do in this game? Well, I queue up and then I ignore every objective and tunnel vision my way to getting as many sick frags as possible. Sometimes I like to fool the enemy by playing like shit. They expect me to try, but instead I die to my own poor decision making. Nothing matters.
I'm not gonna lie, that is such a fucking awesome thing, the first person view. I've never played a game that has that kind of a first person view fighting thing. Especially when you crash, it's really panic inducing, right? Imagine you playing like 60-inch screen or something, right? 4K 60-inch screen. And you play it like that. Holy shit. Obviously, you need to get like 60 frames or something. Otherwise, things wouldn't look fast or something. But damn, that is so good.
Except hitting first place on the scoreboard. Did we lose? Not my problem. I have 10 kills. I made a discovery while recording this footage. Playing this game on public Wi-Fi is wild. I can reliably make my ping go to 999, which makes for the most entertaining kind of footage. Also, I assure you, you will never have a dogfight as intense as this. When your latency is so high, it's measured in minutes. Space and time have warped. They have lost all meaning. Every plane you target will zip to another position. Everyone is a stand user, including yourself. Shoot a plane, you miss. Shoot the open air, you get a kill. I check the scoreboard, and it's for a player who hasn't even spawned. Full disclosure, prior to this video, I never spent a cent on this game. I just stay in the low tiers. Everybody else can have their rat race. All I need is my shitty Battle Rank 1 Swedish Reserve plane, because for some reason...
By the way, the latency thing, that reminds me. People say that we live in a simulation, but if we did, we would find some kind of a latency issue, right? People suddenly warp to another place, people lag, I don't know. This is so stupid.
It comes with 4 goddamn turrets, and I shred. Do I want to go up in rank? Do I want to grind up all the modifications? Hell no. Battle rank 1, baby. I live here. I'm here to tell you, don't go for the carrot on a stick. Don't feel like there's an obligation to do or to grind or to buy anything. I assure you, if you let it, this game will absolutely consume you. Don't let that happen, because if you do, you're going to burn out and you're not going to have any fun. Listen, I got infinite resources right now. I've been to high BR for both ground and air battles, and I gotta say, holy shit, it's incredibly fun, but it's a completely different game.
Alright, that reminds me. I don't even remember what game I played that I never got burned out. I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, recently I can't play much, but in the past, I think Skyrim. But obviously, I was like 10 years ago, so I was kind of, kid at that point, right? 18 or something. 18, 16, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I remember Skyrim, I think, that I played for hours and hours and didn't stop. I think New Vegas, Fallout 3, I think Bethesda games in general. I don't remember any other game that I played for so many hours and didn't get burned out. I'm pretty sure there were, but I just can't remember it right now. But yeah, I mean, I can't, obviously recent games, I don't know if I just grew up or it just sucks, basically. I mean, yeah, people say Elden Ring is like that, but then again, you know, yeah, I don't know. But obviously recent games doesn't feel like that. But if you play a certain game after 3-4 hours, you would get burned out, right? I think Bethesda games the only thing I can remember right now, which I played for hours, like 7-8 hours. I had to sleep and then woke up like, fuck me, I don't want to do anything right now, I'm going to play a game again. I don't know.
I had to bind like 5 new keys just to do this. Yeah, I love high-end plane combat, but eventually my nervous system can't keep up. Flying at speeds exceeding Mach 1 for prolonged periods of time makes you go insane. And I
like
find
the
myself
mirrors, man. Did you see
returning
that?
to low rank just to decompress. Anyway, the point is, there's nothing you can buy to make you good at the game. If you get something better, so does everybody else. Except now you're dealing with more competent veteran players that understand the game inside and out. And that's really the defining characteristic between players. Knowledge. My plane's not particularly fast or strong, but it's built for turning. I understand the concept of trading potential energy for kinetic energy, and in an extended dogfight, I'll just wear down the enemy. Also, no, T-34s are not incredibly powerful. It's just that you're very likely to hit them at a slight tilt from the front, unknowingly shooting shells at effectively twice the normal length of plating, complaining that it doesn't penetrate, getting frustrated at the game, and going to the forums to ask Gaijin exactly how long they plan to spend before they make a good game. Pro tip, you can't outsmart physics, but you can learn the design of each tank, and that makes all the difference. I'm not shooting blindly. I'm aiming for the tank underskirt, the viewing port, and the stockings. Don't laugh, these are technical terms. I memorize the location.
Ooh, that is such a good point, right? During the wars, people used to, I guess, damage the newer tanks that they didn't know about, and then actually, salvage it in a way to just check what are the weak points. And then everybody had to learn what are the fucking weak points. It's like they go through the whole education, like classes, before even going out to kill each other. People think like, oh, war, they get trained, they get like, well, they do certain push-ups, certain, scenarios, and that's it. They just go out and just try to kill things. No, there's a lot to learn while going to the war shit like that. So I like it. This is really realistic.
Of ammunition racks for every tank in my battle rating so I can blow them directly. Obviously, that's complete bullshit and I just get lucky. But I like to think otherwise. This game is easy to pick up, but it takes years to properly develop Stockholm Syndrome. Warthunder is a great meditative game because nothing really goes too fast, so you have time to think. Also, if you're playing this on company time, it is a perfect game for siphoning company time because by the time you drive up to the front line, it can easily take a minute. In that time, you can answer an email, open up some ransomware, drink a little coffee as it infects your data center, and just get back to goofing off, all for an hourly wage. If you frequently have to leave your desk for more than 5 minutes, play a bomber and just keep climbing while AFK. You will single-handedly win the match and you don't even have to be there. One feature that unfortunately has been scrapped is the ability to commit friendly fire. Back in the day, it was really funny because people would spawn in and scream PL in team chat. And once I remember a guy replied with, I'm not Polish, I'm from the UK, to which they all responded by driving up to his engine block, shooting it, and driving away. I love this community. It's as they say, a truly tolerant society should not tolerate the British. Honestly, I am really glad we're past those times, because personally, at the start of a match, I enjoy having tired...
Man, this... Seriously, I'm surprised sometimes how his YouTube doesn't go. I guess YouTube doesn't see it or something. But yeah, British and then throwing that kind of a flag, right? Man, this is so fucking awesome. Obviously, his jab is at to why Brexit happened in the first place, right?
Air tracks. In air combat, this can still happen, but more often than not, it's completely unintentional. And I'm really sorry. You might ask yourself, Seth, in an open sky that's relatively empty of planes, how do you manage to collide with one from your own team? To that, I answer, Play Warthunder for free today. I am no longer asking. I have your family at gunpoint, and if you don't like your family, I don't, but I could, and all you have to do is download the game and start playing immediately. Sign up using my link today and you get a premium vehicle and a bunch of other things, and it's completely free. So what do you have to lose? Except the sands of limited time you have on this earth, quickly passing through your fingers, which could be better spent doing something more meaningful if you actually respected yourself enough to do that. Hey, let me tell you how I got here. I still remember the exact moment I broke. It was when I saw a
Seriously, that kill cam just reminds me. People think that tanks, riding on tanks must have been like such a badass thing. Like any infantry is just like you can get shot from any side. And if you're in a tank, you're lucky. But I think that's the opposite. In a tank, some big ass shrapnel could fuck you up. And even if it doesn't, you could get trapped inside while everything is just burning around you. Tanks can be really fucked up if you get damaged. And there's a high chance you're gonna get damaged.
particular gif of She-Hulk attorney at law twerking. That's when I broke. That's when I said, fuck it, I'm done. Nothing matters. I'm selling out. And I took out every contract at the same time. Now, in retrospect, I was probably just a little bit impulsive. Withdrawal can do that to you. I know I said it for the balloons video, but right now I'm finally, truly, fully unmedicated. Ritalin is a vampire, and it's gonna suck your will to live. It's gonna try and remind you every day you're nothing without it. And believe me, not a single day has passed where I did not consider going back. But after so long, I finally realized I'm not sick. I was never sick. I just live in a sick society where someone's individual worth is measured only by the raw productive output they can spit out before being chewed up by the gears, irrespective of their own unique neurochemistry and spirit. Fuck being valuable. It's not for me. It's never been for me. It's for sustaining some misery machine. I'm sorry I never read the fine print of my birth, but I never signed up for this. Look, I don't care about the sponsorship anymore. My current highest priority inside my scattered hunter-gatherer brain is to somehow stitch everything together into a coherent ending. In truth, I really do like this game, but you know what I like even more? Getting paid to do so. In all seriousness, if you have some situational awareness and actually help your team, you're gonna have a great time. Repairing, covering, supporting, and towing your teammates away to safety makes a huge difference because they're cannon fodder, and if the enemy shoots them, that means they're not gonna shoot you. Just like a doctor only treats the sick so he can beat the ever-living shit out of them himself, we help our team so they can help us rise to the top of a scoreboard. Also, there's custom skins. Your life is now slightly richer from this knowledge. In exchange, can somebody please tell me if there's some way to turn off Discord notifications? Because right now, I am having difficulties recording this footage. It says in this briefing I'm supposed to talk about what I enjoy most about this game. What I enjoy most is hearing this. It's beautiful. Each time I hear it, I know that something and someone out there in the open sky has been turned into human paste. I love it. Anyway, the video is ending, so please join me in prayer. Lord in heaven, please grant everyone online a present father figure in their lives so they can stop writing they cringe-ass comments and making they cringe-ass react videos. Unless you're Asmongold, you get a free pass because I actually met him at the same holiday resort. Good times. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. Sorry for how slow it's been. It gets worse before it gets better. I know everybody adores those motivating tales of breaking addiction, and saying that I quit, relapsed, and quit again doesn't really sound that great, but it's reality. And reality is, most people don't break their addictions. It's nice to hope for the best, but not everyone gets a happy ending. And I'm not talking about myself. I'll be fine. Everybody hooked on Xanax? Yeah. Lamau. Lol even. My sincerest condolences, you're screwed. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos across my multiple manic, bipolar, bad bitch breakdowns.
Wait a minute, is he doing the fake face thing?
Have a good
Why does it feel weird? Oh, it's just simply... Oh, okay. So there we go. Warthunder. Yeah, alright. But seriously, if Seth wanted to become even more successful and rich, he easily could have, right? This is why I respect him more than any other, video game creators like this. Because I don't know, man. He takes per video basis Patreons, right? I'm pretty sure I've never seen anybody else do that, right? And sometimes he even creates videos and it doesn't take money for it, right? And he could easily do many more, sponsored videos, right? Like many others do, but he just doesn't do it, right? I think this is the first one I've seen in a long time. This Seth is just awesome. Right, well, that was Warthunder review. Our channel SsethTzeentach. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.